great, great evening on this Thursday, Jupiter's Day. You know how it is. I ain't big on astrology, but I love relating the days of the week as they relate to the planets. Doesn't matter if people don't go on. I'm really gonna upload all this stuff to YouTube like always, but I really wanted to talk as it relates to some of these images that I'm gonna be sharing right here on Facebook from some of these pages that love to talk shit about these practices, you know, as it relates to Buddhism, meditation, tapping into your pineal gland, Kundalini, all that, you know, spiritual practices that have been practiced and studied by culture for the past, 3,000, 4,000 years, but which to religious fanatic may be new age because they don't know, right? Because they don't know the truth, so they fall into the trap of idol worshiping and worshiping books and contradicting the words that are found within this book. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that has to do with Kundalini, that has to do with your pineal gland, that has to do with unlocking your chakras, with balancing your temples, your 7 temples. This book specifically talks about your 7 temples, which in Buddhism is your 7 chakra system. You know, they consider these things as new age when in reality they're not new age. You know, whenever that book, the Bible, speaks about, you know, being aware of new age philosophies, which we have to watch out for, it relates specifically to things of the age of, of the times in which we are living at the moment, not things that have already came and passed, but things that are going on right now, right? Like the sensationalization of homosexuality, right? For example, the over sexualization of children, for example, right? The music that we listen to, the idol worshiping of individuals, of these things, the cross, which I got, back in 2012, right? Because I didn't know no better, but at the same time, I still believed in a higher power, so I got it as a way of showing my belief in that power, because I didn't know any other way, because I was still very ignorant, right? So yeah, man, these, individuals that lack true wisdom will look at a lot of these things and mislabel them or misjudge them because they lack the true insight, understanding, and wisdom to properly judge them. And more often than not, a lot of individuals, they misjudge these things because they lack understanding of themselves, because maybe they are also falling short within themselves as to how to properly walk that righteous, that Christly path. And because of that, they're gonna make grave mistakes, and they're gonna, bash these ways of being, and they're gonna bash individuals that develop these teachings, that were able to bring forth this kind of understanding to a great number of people worldwide for hundreds of years, right? And they've been able to help millions throughout the generations for hundreds and even thousands of years. Jesus himself studied at many temples, as he traveled through Egypt, through India, through Europe, through all the places that he traveled in his lifetime, he learned from many of these practices. That's why he didn't pray like a regular Christian, like a regular Jew, and he didn't partake in a lot of the practices of those of that day, of his culture, right? As a Jew, he worshiped the Most High in his own way. And even still today, a lot of people, they are estranged, and they are against even hearing this name, and they criticize the image rather than following the example, and they criticize the image because of what has happened over the last 500 or 700 years. You know what I'm saying? Since the Islamic Moorish Empire went into Europe, educated the European people, and then they in turn flipped the script and decided to create their own story and throw it to us as his story, as actually history, when in reality, we all, well, not all of us know, but a great number of individuals understand and know that the Caucasian demographic is the child race. You know what I'm saying? They only developed about 50,000 years ago. And if you don't know about this, go check out The Caveman's Inheritance. You know what I'm saying? It's a good book with a lot of knowledge and a lot of insight as to how the Caucasian people came out of the Caucasus Mountain about 50,000+ years ago, under 60,000 years ago. And so, like I said, there's a lot of misconceptions as it relates to this. You know what I'm saying? This image right here is specifically, disturbing because people are very ignorant. You know what I'm saying? People are very ignorant, and they read a book and lack the wisdom and humility, really. You know what I'm saying? They lack humility, and so because they lack humility, they lack the wisdom to truly understand what it is that they're reading, right? And they judge the third eye. They judge the Egyptian Ankh, which is the first from which the cross itself was brought from, right? You have the foundation man, and you have the womb for woman. So you know what I'm saying? This is supposed to represent the phallus going in, and the womb of the woman. You know what I'm saying? Which is an example of life. They criticize meditation when Jesus himself meditated, and the Bible itself speaks countlessly about meditation. They criticize the pineal gland. Yet, when we go to another page and we check out, Mathew 6:22, and it says, the eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. You know what I'm saying? Or Genesis 32:20. So Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. You know what I'm saying? For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been delivered. Or Luke 11:13. Your eye is your eye, not your eyes. Your eye is the lamp of your body. When your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. But when it is bad, your body is full of darkness. And that is wrong. This is what's wrong with a lot of people that that act all high and mighty because they are religious fanatics. And so, though they are against evil, they don't understand how they themselves, for lack of knowledge, continue to reciprocate that evil. You know what I'm saying? Through their own ignorance and judgmental actions. Because the book itself says, judge not, lest ye be judged also. You know what I'm saying? Judge not, yet lest ye be judged also. And so they criticize practices like Buddhism and individuals like Buddha himself. You know what I'm saying? Whom born into a wealthy family, stepped away from all that wealth and riches as a way to kind of find his own path in life, and trying to figure out why is it that life is all suffering? Why is there so much suffering in life? How can I reduce any more suffering in life? You know what I'm saying? And then at the end of 6 years of fasting, he realized life is all suffering. You know, as Jesus, as the story of Jesus tries to bring us an awareness of, like, life is all suffering. That's why, you know, that's the way of the cross. The way of the cross is embracing the suck that life is. That life is all suffering, and that so long as we live, we will endure suffering. We came into this world through the suffering of another, and we will leave this world creating more suffering and others. You know what I'm saying? Whether we want to or not, people are going to cry when we die. And whether we want to or not, somebody's going to be in a lot of pain and anguish as we are being born, because that's all life is. You know what I'm saying? And the more that we seek to avoid suffering in life, the more suffering we will indirectly produce in our life. You know what I'm saying? That's what depression is. Depression is us trying to find comfort, you know what I'm saying, and in turn creating even more discomfort, because rather than acting with purpose and doing things on purpose, we're behaving in a purposeless and meaningless fashion, which in turn produces the depression that so many people deal with. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of individuals that, you know, that whose entire life is filled behind the concept of judging and misjudging and accusing and attempting to project this self-righteous image of themselves. Their life is filled with suffering. You know what I'm saying? Whether they want to put on a mask of happiness and joy, their life is filled with suffering. I was watching some kid's page the other day on YouTube because I saw some, like, you know, I saw some powerful stuff, a powerful TikTok video that somebody shared of him, where he was sharing mad insight, you know what I'm saying, mad knowledge. But once I go into his page, I see this one video that he made, and it's talking about how Christians are stupid, and how, you know what I'm saying, the whole Bible is about, it's all promoting homosexuality and all this shit. And I'm like, bro, and then he's bringing up the fact, you know, that this holy Bible, this book was, you know, it was authorized by King James himself, whom was an open homosexual. You get what I'm saying? And all this other things. And we know how the Catholic Church is polluted by pedophilia and a lot of, like, you know, contradictions as it relates to living a righteous, a truly righteous and holy and good life by embracing actions that are not conducive towards a righteous and benevolent way of living. And it's just like, you know, and it was making suggestion as to how Jesus was a homosexual and how in every picture he's holding something. And I go and look at the pictures of all the pictures that he showed, and he was doing his hardest. And that's the thing about a lot of African Americans, and just like, it sucks to say it, but a lot of, like, melanated people in general that are so angry at the Caucasian man for something that we ourselves facilitated through our own sheer ignorance. You know what I'm saying? He was like, oh, Jesus was a homosexual. Look, in every picture he's holding a fucking something that looks like a penis. And I go and look at the picture, and one of the pictures that he said was a penis, it was actually a scroll. And then in the other one, it was a piece of bread. And in all these different images, he's holding something that in a way represents food. You get what I'm saying? Food. Knowledge is food. Bread is food. Like, all these things are food. And knowledge itself can be seen as food, and so is wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And you know, some people think that like knowledge is power, and that's why I often say that knowledge is not power. Knowledge is only potential power. Wisdom is true power. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, you know, a lot of individuals, they may appear knowledgeable, but simply listen to the attitude, to the energy in their rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? To the energy in the way that they speak and how they speak about the things that they speak about. You know, and if you sense any kind of emotions that in a sense project wrath or pride, or you know, lacking in vision, envy, or hate, you know what I'm saying? If you sense greed or undisciplinedness or lacking in diligence in their action, if you sense any kind of disbalance in these individuals and how they speak, you know what I'm saying? If they're projecting energy that makes you feel uneasy or angry, or you know what I'm saying, uncomfortable in a negative manner, which does not induce any sort of power into you, then rethink. You know what I'm saying? Think a little bit outside the box. Step back and really listen to what is being said. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean that, oh, maybe the information that they're not putting forth is true, but more often than not, they're mixing a little bit too much emotion into the information, and because they're mixing so much emotion, they themselves are losing sight of the bigger picture. You get what I'm saying? You know, a lot of individuals in the melanated community, they misjudge Jesus because of the image that has been sold to us. You know what I'm saying? To us, to society as a whole. You know what I'm saying? We're judging based on the white image, and because we're judging the white image, we forget that this man was a Middle Eastern Israeli Jew. You know what I'm saying? Or a Middle Eastern Jew, not Israel, because Israel didn't exist back then, and in itself, it was never supposed to be established as a nation state. You know what I'm saying? Isis, Ra, and El, that's who Israel is. Isis, the god is Isis. Ra, the sun god Ra, and El meaning all. You know what I'm saying? That's all Israel stands for. That's why it says the children of Israel shall inherit. You know what I'm saying? It always talks about the children of Israel, because the children of Israel are the children of Isis, the goddess of wisdom, which was there before before anything was established. You know what I'm saying? Ra, the sun god, the son of God, the sun in the sky, the visible God in the sky, that which was worshipped before anything else was worshipped, along with, you know, Mother Nature, which is also Isis, and El, God. You know what I'm saying? Another name for God, and that's all Israel. That's all is the children of Israel are. The children of Israel are the children of wisdom, of power, and of life. That's all we are. You know what I'm saying? And if we don't understand these things, then we're going to be misguided by the images that have been sold to us. You know what I'm saying? We're going to go and worship a cross. We're going to go worship an Ankh. We're going to go worship many different idols and images, and what this young individual is trying to pose, you know, these new age movements that in reality misguide us away from the truth. So whether you want to continue to call him Jesus or Yeshua, whatever his name was, this individual was not Caucasian. This individual looked like a lot of like the melanated people that we see today. You know, he had hair like wool, not silky like a horse. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? But if we're very ignorant, like most people in the world, which rely on other people for knowledge and understanding, that don't have the self-direction to take action themselves, then you are going to be, you know, falling prey to all these, you know, misconceptions. 1 second.
Battery, please.
That's my Chinese lady on the Bluetooth. I tend to like move away a lot from like, you know, dance all over the place, and then I always come back. But yeah, man, like it sucks. You know, it sucks that people are so freaking stupid. You know what I'm saying? That they can't really see the bullshit, you know, before their own eyes. You know what I'm saying? How they themselves are their own worst enemies. You know, because there is no greater friend and no greater foe than that which is within oneself. You know what I'm saying? And so, you know, they can never truly follow the Most High, because they're still relying more on man than they are on anybody else. You know what I'm saying? They're not listening to anybody for the sake of understanding. They're listening for the sake of trying to make sure, or that what they believe is right. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to seeking to gain and learn from what it is that somebody else is teaching them. And you know, I thank the source of all. You know what I'm saying? For me, always not relying on my own ignorance, or what I think is my wisdom, my own wisdom, to continue to make, you know, good decisions in life. You know, I've learned about religion from many different sources, from Catholic, from Muslims, from Christians, from Jews. So, you know, I seek to gain the perspective from all these individuals, both the ones that hate and the ones that love, and also the ones seek to educate. And so I continue to gain, and I continue to add on to my perspective and get better. But when I see individuals that disrespect individuals like that came before us, that did great works, you know what I'm saying? Because they lack the wisdom and humility to really submit themselves to actually learning. It sucks, especially watching that video yesterday about this young cat. You know what I'm saying? He seems very knowledgeable, but he lacks understanding, insight, and wisdom to really truly humble himself and actually be able to grow in such a way that it allows him to be of the greatest possible influence and impact in life. Because, like, come on, bro, like, really, bro, you are talking smack about an individual that was born into a human vessel and walked a righteous path from birth to death, and was willing to embrace death, you know what I'm saying, so that he could fulfill his purpose in this life for our benefit. You know what I'm saying? That's like talking smack about Martin Luther King because he belonged to a secret society, and let's disregard his message. Let's disregard his "I have a dream" speech. Let's disregard his speeches on economic inequality. You know what I'm saying? That's like saying, oh, Gandhi did this, so let's disregard how he was able to motivate and influence over 100 million Indians in India to stand behind one goal, one idea. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're talking, like, a lot of people will talk smack about Jesus, Yeshua, whatever the heck you want to call him, because a group of racist inferiority complex carrying Caucasian individuals wanted to brainwash a whole nation, a whole group of people, not even a nation, a whole demographic of people into believing that they are the pinnacle of history, of evolution, of just ingenuity in this planet. So you want to just, like, let's put this the idea of this individual that came through down because they painted his black face over with a white face, and because you don't like the white face, forget that dude. Forget that dude. That dude ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a homo, whatever you want to call him. Like, bro, this dude said, love thyself and love thy brother as thyself. He didn't say go fall in love with a man, go like a man. No, he said love your brother as thyself. I want to know who out here has a brother and doesn't love their brother like they love themselves. And if you don't love your brother, it's because you likely don't love yourself to begin with. You get what I'm saying? To love the Most High, to love anybody, you must first love yourself. And there's a lot of individuals, especially like this page right here that I was showing, that will say that, you know, loving yourself is satanic or Luciferian. You cannot give what you do not have. And if somebody is lacking in wisdom, they cannot provide you the wisdom. They may provide you with knowledge, but that knowledge may misguide you away from what you're truly, you know, seeking in life. There's a lot of individuals in today's day and age that are seeking to portray themselves as masters, but they have yet to master themselves. This is why I'm always hesitant to come on and make certain like videos like this length and talk about things, because I myself am not fully master of myself. You know what I'm saying? But I ask God, you know what I'm saying? Source, creation itself, infinite intelligence, that divine essence that, you know, intelligently guides this reality, my life, my body, this material biological organism, you know what I'm saying, to grant me the wisdom and understanding so that I can, even if I don't come on and make these videos as often, you know what I'm saying, that I make my actions in the other aspects of my life are conducive with what life, nature, reality in itself, existence truly requires out of me. You know what I'm saying? Whether that is talking to a child, or smiling at a child, or directing inspiring and powerful energy into a child's eye and smiling back at them as they smile back at me, and they might not know, or an older individual or a young adult, you know what I'm saying, like not even speaking but just projecting energy, because they say that the eyes are the windows to the soul. So what's to stop us from communicating with other souls non-verbally, just energetically, you know what I'm saying, just with our hearts, our mind, i.e. our body, and our spirit through these lenses. You get what I'm saying? As it says, you know what I'm saying? For God knows that when you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, knowing good and evil. All right? For I have seen God face to face, and yet my life has been delivered. The eye is the lamp of the body. So if your eye is healthy, your whole body will be full of light. Like, yo, this book is full of knowledge. It's full of knowledge. But if you do not seek wisdom, if you do not ask for wisdom before you place your hands on these pages, it will be useless to you. It would just be a piece of paper in your hand. You will be a slave to whoever understands how to utilize that knowledge to their benefit at your behest. That's why I said in the video that I made about individuals that join secret societies do not understand that though they think that they worshiping God, they're actually worshiping the devil. You know what I'm saying? They're worshiping the light, the light bearer, Lucifer, i.e. mankind, humans. You know what I'm saying? Because if you do not seek the wisdom and understanding of the Most High first from that source, if you don't ask that source, am I doing the right thing? Then you're more likely than not going to be led astray by man. You know what I'm saying? And man is quick to deceive you for their own selfish gain and benefit. And all these secret societies today, they all require you to submit to them, not to God, to them, to man, to whatever man has planned for you. Not what God has planned, not what the source of life has planned, that which is within you. You know what I'm saying? That which sits at the gate, in the temple of your mind. You know what I'm saying? Not that which lives in the home that is your heart. Not that which plays in the playground, which is your stomach. But man, they tell you to do this, they tell you to sit like that, they tell you to shake hands like this, they tell you to pray like this and like that, and you do it like an obedient dog. Like an obedient sheep, you follow along, led astray into the slaughterhouse. Why? Because many of us, we are more quick to put on the yoke of man than we are to put on the yoke of God. Why? Because we fear man more than we are respectful and mindful of God. Not fearful of God, but respectful and mindful. Only those that lack understanding of what the source truly is are fearful. And because they are fearful, they're unable to truly walk on that path as best as they could walk it if they were mindful and respectful of the source of all life. If they feared doing evil, you know what I'm saying? They would do good. It wouldn't be hard to do good. You know what I'm saying? But people are more scared of projecting the wrong images onto man, onto the devil, than they are of fearful of doing evil. And because they don't fear doing evil, evil is all that is riddling our society today. It's destroying our society and is wreaking havoc on our body, minds, and soul. You know, I wake up daily with gratitude in my heart, bro. If I could give you a tip right now, that would be it. Wake up with gratitude. You know, express gratitude to source, to life, to creation, to existence itself. You know what I'm saying? To yourself. But first, to that macrocosm. That is, you know, that is that which you are an extension of. You being the microcosm. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, as the book says, ye are God, but ye are not God. Ye are children of the Most High God. But as children of the Most High God, as God made flesh, come here manifested to live this and have this human experience and embrace the suffering by carrying the cross of suffering just as Jesus did. You know what I'm saying? Ye should judge righteously as God will judge. The book says it too. I don't know where it says that part, but you know, it says it. But I know where it says this one. It says, there is a time to heal and a time to kill, a time to destroy and a time to build. Ecclesiastes 3:3. You know what I'm saying? And as God, ye are here to judge. But ye can only judge when ye decides to walk a righteous path. That's why, you know, every time they ask Jesus, should I do that? Should I do this? Should we stone this woman for being unfaithful to her husband? He says, yo, let he that is righteous without sin throw the first stone. And because none is righteous and without sin, you cannot throw the stone. That's why the good book says, judge not lest ye be judged also. A lot of religious fanatics are ready to judge. But behind closed door, they're violating their own consciousness, their own conscience. They're violating their own moral codes, their own ethics. I'm not a religious fanatic. I got my own religion, bro. My religion is loving, as the good book says, loving my brother as I would want my brothers to love me, as I love me. Making my bed every freaking morning. You know what I'm saying? Expressing gratitude to life. As soon as I wake up and I'm thinking about doing something else, I'm like, hold up. Yo, thank you, God. Thank you, life. Thank you, source. I'm alive. And then I might say thank you for my family, or I might be like, yo, thank you for this AC. Because a few days ago, it was hot as balls in my room, and I was sweating my dick off, and I couldn't even put a blanket on. But now I got an AC. You know what I'm saying? So thank you for that. Thank you for my feet because they're healthy. Even if I don't got a car this year, thank you for my feet because I got legs to walk on. You know what I'm saying? That's my religion. You know what I'm saying? Making my tea every morning, that's my religion. Drinking water every day and taking care of my body every day, that's my religion. Working out daily, that's my religion. Making sure that I share my smile as often as possible. That I share positive energy as often as possible. That I do as little harm and as much good as often as possible. That's my religion. That I seek to balance my vices with more virtues. That's my religion. So what's your religion? Stop falling prey to fucking man's religion. You know, one thing that I've been doing for like the last 2 or 3 months is I've been reading Psalms and Proverbs every morning. I read one proverb for every day. Today was we're still on Thursday, so today is the 8th. Today was Proverbs 8. But that's me. I'm doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard it. I bought a book about it. It made sense to me. And I told myself, you know what? I'm going to practice this for the next 5, 10. No, I'm going to practice this for the next 5 years. Next 5 years, I wake up, I read my book. I bought a Quran. I got the Quran. I got the Egyptian Book of the Dead. You show that shit to a Christian, they may lose their motherfucking mind. You know what I'm saying? I got this one, the Apocrypha. I don't even know how to pronounce this. If you're trying to pronounce it in Spanish. You show that to a Christian, to a religious fanatic Christian, they may lose their daggone mind. All these individuals may lose their mind because they can't think for themselves. They got somebody else doing the thinking for them. Not understanding that the kingdom of God is within them. That's the title of Tolstoy's book. Tolstoy's book says, Russian philosopher. They don't understand that the kingdom of the source of creation, the kingdom of the macrocosm, is they themselves. You know, you get me? And because they don't understand this, they don't respect themselves, and they don't respect the source of all life enough to respect themselves. They don't love themselves enough to love the source of all life to love themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't do none of these things. They can't truly forgive themselves. They're expecting some external validation and source to forgive them. Nah, bro. Forgiveness begins with self. Love begins with self. All these things begin with you. Can't nobody else do the work that only we can do for ourselves. We can pray as much as we want to pray. But if we're unwilling to act on those prayers, if we're unwilling to take actions when somebody knocks after we asked for something, if we don't pick up the phone call after we asked for something, if we don't seek, if we don't look, if we don't ask, then we shall not find, we shall not receive, and nothing will ever be open to us. Stop waiting for magic and all these Disney fantasies to be made manifest without you taking the proper actions to do so. Meditation is key. Tapping into your inner self is key. Eating properly is key. Genesis 1:28. I have given you all seed-bearing fruits to be to you as seeds, or to be to all seed-bearing fruits to be to you as food. And having respect for nature is key. Genesis 1:29. I have given you dominion over all the fishes of the sea, all the birds of the air, and all the animals of land. Not so that we can abuse them, but so that we can uplift ourselves by uplifting them and by caring for them, because these are our animal cousins. Because we are the human animal. 666. The mark of the beast. We are the beast that can think for itself. 6 protons, 6 neutrons, 6 electrons. The what makes up carbon? Carbon 12. That's what we're made of. We're made of like 98, 99% carbon. We're stardust, as Carl Sagan would say. You know what I'm saying? We're nothing but dust. We are jars of clay with the breath of life breathed into us. Consciousness made flesh. That's all we are. We're nothing more, nothing less. We are the universe, unfolding and manifesting and experiencing itself as us. And all these great teachers that have come before us, we shouldn't idol them or worship them. We should do as they did. We should go within. We should know ourselves. We should discover the truth that is within us through meditation, through proper nutrition, through breathing exercises, through physical exercises. You know what I'm saying? Through living a purpose-filled life, one that means something. You know, one that is filled with meaning and with experiences intense enough that we impact our entire environment. You know what I'm saying? We should learn from these masters. We shouldn't be misjudging them because we lack understanding of ourselves, and so we turn them into our enemies and our foes rather than our friends and our teachers. Yo, the story of Jesus continues to help me, man. I've told, like I said in some videos before, and I tell people, yo, Jesus wasn't who saved me. So that's why I'm saying, don't stop worshiping individuals. His examples guide me, but psychedelics saved me from myself. Magic mushrooms, psilocybin cubensis. You get what I'm saying? Them things that grow on the turd of cows, on cow shit. You get what I'm saying? That's what saved me. That is the true bread of Christ right there. That is true consciousness. You eat a piece of any kind of psychedelic, any kind of consciousness manifested into plants, and you will be made aware of what it is that you are. You know what I'm saying? That is the true bread of Christ. Christ is consciousness. Christ is righteous consciousness. Christ is not a name. Christ is a title. You know what I'm saying? Christ is a title. Many Christs have existed since the beginning of time, since man began to acquire knowledge and became capable of understanding and gaining wisdom from the knowledge and understanding that he has acquired. There have been many Christs. And it is up to every individual to become Christ-like by living a righteous and good life. One that doesn't avoid suffering. One that embraces suffering and pain and anguish, and transmutes those sufferings into lessons, those failures into successes. You know what I'm saying? Those losses into lessons. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Obstacles are about opportunities waiting to be discovered. There is no problems in life, only opportunities and answers that haven't been answered. So other than that, man, listen, I'm gonna cut this short. It's about to be 12:03, right on time. I think this is enough. I think y'all kind of get the gist. I'll probably come on and make something like this again another time. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? The new age stuff that we should be watching out for is all these things that we're seeing today. You know, these political and religiously guided propaganda that we see in our music, in our educational system, in our entertainment industries, in our food, you know what I'm saying? And in the misuse of business. These are the new age things, you know what I'm saying? All this propaganda, all these images and celebrities and idol worshiping that we're seeing, these are the new age things that we should be watching out for. Meditation, gratitude, proper nutrition and eating, loving animals, and taking care of our planet and taking care of our bodies. Yo, that's as old as, I wouldn't say as old as wisdom herself, but that is as old as humans being able to think consciously and coherently and organically in order with nature through knowledge, insight, understanding, and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That's just that Christly in us. So the only way to develop is that Christly essence, that righteous essence that can judge righteously, is to develop ourselves, to cleanse ourselves, to balance those 7 temples, to clean them of them vices and bring in nothing but virtues, and to obey the commandments that have been set by our fathers that came before us, that did live a righteous life. All right, other than that, ain't nothing but love. All right, 1.